let's just say, much like my new shirt, all the emotions are running high about the new system and its launch game. I still maintain, while I'm not a huge fan of some of the things being done in relation to console launch games, I'm still excited nonetheless. The With that in mind, and even though I did not have anything set in stone for today, sure enough, I'm going to be talking about the Mario Kart Direct while the audience is still relatively hot, much like the excitement for this title. As the first open world installment in the franchise, it's kind of like their Forza Horizon or The Crew, and unlike the latter, there's no nonsensical claims about ownership uh, being, being said in court either. I also argue that going over air and water reminds me a lot of Diddy Kong Racing. I would also have no objections to that coming to N64 Classics on Switch Online. And even though I'm going to be mostly focusing on the new features that are going to be unique to this game, if something from previous installments is iterated upon on in an interesting way, I will address it. So, let's dive in. Let's start by taking a sample of some of the tracks we're going to be on, and even with some of the people I'm seeing about the designs, I will say, hey, that the Mario Circuit being revamped for 2025, I'm already liking that, as this has been a recurring track ever since the beginning. And I also particularly like the arrangement of the music from both the SNES game and Mario Kart 64, and new tracks such as Crown City. Now, that is dynamite, I can say, based on how these highways looks, and the somewhat Venice-esque salty speedway. The sailing content is likely coming from people saying the console is the Wii U 2. It's not. I'd say at this stage the 3DS 2 is more accurate comparison. There's also Starview Peak, which is quite shiny, and Boo Cinema. I don't know about Driver, and I tend to think more 4K HDR large formats. This looks almost IMAX worthy. Of course, we've also gotten a taste of a few other legacy tracks, which including not limited to Toad's Factory. Jay Frillish mentioned that and wanting to try it in his Minecraft video. Peach Beach, Wario Shipyard. I'm intrigued by how Rainbow Road and other legacy courses will work, especially how the way they mentioned the former. And now, let's briefly go over some of the drivers and also other niceties in this game, since as you can tell, it's got more in common and with some of the other videos I've done, like the recent one I did for like the GameCube Online, and the one I just did yesterday for the update for Legend Z A and other duos of Pokemon. So we've got that going forward at least. On top of the legacy characters, there's Mario Brothers, Yoshi, and DK, and for all the people who are huffy about the new design, I'd like to point out that it's not like humor where Donkey Kong is uncommon, and citing how originally Miyamoto used the classic Popeye cartoons and comics reference points, and with DK basically being like the Bluto or Brutus, depending on which naming convention you subscribe to. I tend to go for Bluto personally, though I won't say no to Brutus. There's also the Goomba, the Spike enemy, and even the cows from Moo Moo Farms and other similar tracks. I can definitely see that Gary Larson appreciates that one. We've also got a handful of new power-ups, such as the gold coin shell, the ice flower, which freezes people, give out the fire flower, sets them on fire, the hammer, or like how the Hammer Brothers use, the feather, which provides like an extra jump, at how it did it in the in some of the 2D titles that gave you like the cape in Mario World, and the Mega Mushroom from the new Super Mario Brothers games where becoming like an absolute giant and running through the track. We've also got a new way of unlocking cosmetics, Yoshi's drive-through dash food. I mean, on top of classic outfits as well as like the flight suits you see them wear, I'm eager to see what all can be unlocked. I'm already liking the ones the sushi unlocks as the Hoppy, the Matsuri, and the Yukatas. It's quite cute. And also, there's a few more gameplay mechanics next I would like to talk about. I mean, I once again maintain that the music is also fantastic of what I'm hearing in this direct. Both arrangements of classic tracks, themes, and new ones. That whole foot stomping and guitar and harmonica combination has been in my head for about a couple weeks now. And I can say that if it were to never leave, I would not object at all. It's welcome company for other tracks in the franchise. Okay, so the charge jump, which allows you to reach greater heights and close certain gaps, and the rewind feature in case you mess up, though it means everyone else is still going to keep going the same time. I can also imagine there's going to be some other kind of catch to that one, so it's not just going to be a constantly taken advantage of by people. I mean, I would only see myself using it on the time trials personally, and the next feature, which alone is going to be worth it for me, the free roam, which used to be where if you drove where the track didn't reach, it should be slowed down, but not anymore. Now you can go anywhere to get a feel for land, which is definitely, I can see myself spending lots of time with that feature alone. Much like Edgar Winter, or depending on your preference, Dan Hartman. Come on and take a free ride, so to speak. And I think I better finish up here, because even though this outfit is pretty fresh, I still got other ones I need to wash myself, man. So, the game will be launching on Side Switch 2 on June 5th, and even though I am not certain I will have the 500 large to pick it up right away, I'm still realistically thinking it's going to be 2026, and I also continually maintain I will still submit the launch bundle as a calculated move based on how big a hit and system seller the last game was. Skepticism and sticker shock aside, I also notice that based on the way things have been laid out, this would actually be saving about $30 over picking out the console and the game separately, trade shenanigans aside. I mean, there are some insiders claiming that there might be a spike depending on what happens, but we'll see. I do my best to not bring up that nature. I mean, I know I'm not. It's not like I'm incapable of discussing that, but I only tend to do it if I have to for strictly educational purposes. And with that in mind, I will definitely be keeping an eye on the system and this game, and I guess we'll know for sure how it's going to do this June. That'll be all for now. I am not going to be having a video on Friday, but I will be seeing you this weekend for a look at the elevated horror film Sinners and the gleefully absurd Adult Swim cult classic Xavier Renegade Angel. That'll be all for now. Take care. Mm-hmm.